Yes, people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. I've got a special guest for you today. We're going to be reviewing, obviously, Liverpool. Liverpool just finished their game just now. We're going to be reviewing that. And we're going to talk about Lavia, and we're going to talk about obviously FSG and their non-spending and how the preseason has gone as well. So let me bring in the guest, and then we go from there. So let's bring in the first guest, which is Anton. What's going on, bro? Anton, you're mute. Yeah, there you go.
Am I on?
You're
Hello?
on now, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. You're on. You're
Okay,
on. You're on.
yes. All right. What's going on, people? What's going on, Foz?
I'm good, bro. Looking forward to just discussing Liverpool and the transfers, obviously, and the previous game, the last game we
Yeah,
just
of
played in the
course.
preseason.
Of course. And the big bucks that FSG want to spend.
Let's do that. We've got a new guest who's going to be a regular on this channel, hopefully, if he accepts my invitations, which is Kwasi. He's got his own channel, so please go and subscribe to him as well. Let's bring him in. Kwasi!
Hey,
Legend, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here. Appreciate it
Bro,
so much.
you're always welcome here, bro. You're always welcome here, man.
Thank you.
Glad, I appreciate you actually you accepted the invitation. That's the most important thing, yeah.
Thank you.
And then
I appreciate it.
and then you got Liverpool 12th man. Everybody knows him. He's a regular on this channel. So let's bring him in. Yes, sir. Big up, bro.
How's the chat? How's everyone doing?
Well, good, bro. Well, good.
Thank you.
Glad we started this now. And then we're gonna bring in, a person that I shared the channel with before. He's a legend around this YouTube industry. Like he's one of my favorites as well. I'm glad to bring him back. Anton knows him. Let's bring him in. Laser LFC.
Oh,
right.
everybody, man. Let's not for having me on. Good to see you, Anton. Good to see you. Whether to the right, whether to my right as well. Yeah, man.
Thank
Liverpool.
Big up, bro. Big up, man. I'm so glad you come on, man. It's been a while, man. Are you okay? Everything is good with you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop long tonight, though. If that's all right by you, thought I'd make a
That's
quick
all right, bro.
appearance rather than coming into the show later on. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
do this. Let's do this.
Let's do this, people. Let's do this. So the first one we're gonna start, as I said, we're gonna talk about Lavia and the transfer that didn't happen. So we'll go with that. What I've heard, Liverpool have offered 45 million plus add-ons for Lavia, and it's been rejected. Southampton want their 50 million, and there's nothing else. As I said to you guys off air, we've done Southampton dirty in the past, so they're not accepting anything other than the 50 million. So Kwasi, what do we have to do, bro, to get these players through the door? Because we're desperate to get, a DM. We played McAllister today in that position, and it didn't look good. You know what I mean? I like the player. He can play there. We know that. But we need that energetic player. We need the one who can run, retain the ball, who's happy to play that position. So where can we go from here, bro? If we can't pay the 50 million that the Southampton want, I don't think he's worth 50 million. But we put ourselves in this situation, and we're like, how long has it been taking us to get this transfer through the window? You know what I mean?
Oh, summer. I think we will pay it. I think it's all business. We don't want to be used as whatever you tell Liverpool to pay, they will pay. That's why they don't want that perception to be out there. Yeah. They want to be like, hey, they will pull a bargain. But at the same time, if you're gonna end up paying the price, then it's like, why don't you just pay it? Exactly. So I think we'll pay it. Personally, I think we need another DM.
Yeah.
Because the alternatives that club have used are not good enough.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like we would need 2 DMs.
Do you need like someone experienced and someone young? Maybe that will help the team. Maybe something like that.
That's what I wish he had never sold Fabinho or Henderson. One of them should have gone, not both of them.
Okay. What about you, 12th man? What do you think of it, bro? that's the third bid we made for Lavia, and it still hasn't been accepted, bro.
I think that one, it's I agree with what you're saying. I agree that Southampton has been looked at as being a feeder club for a long time, especially with their top end talent. And we had a comment. I think it was Kwasi said the comment about how imagine if Southampton had just kept their talent or the talent they've acquired throughout the years, they would actually still most likely be in the Premier League. So I understand that they definitely want to get paid. I understand that getting into the Premier League ship is something in itself, that an accomplishment in itself. So they want to make sure that since they're not going to be there, that they're at least getting a paycheck on their way out. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't agree with the 50 million pound evaluation for him. I know it sounds horrible to say, it's only 5 million, or it's this and that. It's a lot easier to talk about money when it's not your money, And again, this isn't my money per se going into this investment, but I personally am not. I don't see anything. You can't give out the perception that you can be bullied, and I don't think that. And especially you don't want to give the perception that a Southampton can bully a club on the stature of Liverpool into paying whatever price they deem is being the price they need to pay for a team that's relegated, a player that does want to go, a player that has a buyout deal, a player that has all these different exceptions and little stipulations according to his team. I just say, hey, to all the Liverpool Reds out there, focus. I think it'll be 11 o'clock your time, I want to say. It'll be 3 p.m. my time. So tomorrow, 3 p.m., tune in, Fluminense. Watch that game, okay? And if Fluminense lose, then hey, you know what? We have our answer for a DM. So that's how I see it.
Big up, bro. What about you, Anton, man? I know you've been asking for a DM for a while. Like, how long can we go on for? Because the season's gonna start soon.
It starts next week, right?
Yeah.
It's not this week. It's Sunday, isn't it?
This weekend. This weekend. Yeah.
These guys are they professional? It's weird. A big team in the Premier League with big history like Liverpool, and you're doing this right now for a player. It's poor. It's laughable for other teams, rival teams watching us. It's laughable. It's like, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. Come on. Even smaller teams are spending more money than us. Come on, man. I tell you what, if you're not gonna spend the money, then do the right scouting.
Yeah.
Outcomes, me myself, look, what I do? PE teacher. What? I see Edson Alvarez. Edson Alvarez is looking to go West Ham for 35 million. You know Edson Alvarez, the defensive midfielder who plays for Ajax. He plays for Ajax. He could play centre back as well. He's very good in the air, good in the tackle, good pass. Yeah. Why can't we get him? It's 33 million the same. 33 million. Agreed verbally. Why can't we get him? I would say get him and then get the Fluminense guy, Andre. Why not?
Exactly. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
If Lavia pay the £50, pay £50, pay the 50 million, pay the 50 million.
I wish it was £50.
We wish it was £50.
You know what I mean?
Living the old days.
I tell you what, I thought all us fans should embarrass them. I'm telling you, say start up a GoFundMe page for Liverpool because they need to buy players. It's true. Go set a GoFundMe because it's an insult. Yeah. It's an insult, man. 50 million. They want 50 million. You're trying to go there with 42 million pounds and some change. What kind of nonsense is that? So what you're saying is, I can go in the shop in Lamborghini and say, you know what, I want a Lamborghini. Okay, you're going to have to pay 130,000. No. I'm going to give you 10,000 because my team can do that and I thought I can get it. What kind of shit is that, man? It's absolutely annoying. Every morning, I'm waking up trying to see what we're trying to do. Are we moving? Have we got the player yet? And we're dilly-dallying. Yeah. I don't understand it. So come Sunday, I don't expect the win against Chelsea. I don't expect that. If we win it, it's like,
Not
wow.
with this team, like, nah.
Wow.
I have a question. Why would you guys think that Chelsea is that good?
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Chelsea.
How-
Right now,
from what?
Right now, they're moving forward. They're moving.
They're
forward.
spending money, yeah, but we
They're
saw
spending
what.
money.
What?
Yes,
How well did they help them during the season?
During the season, this season,
Yeah.
or the season the season's not started yet.
No, the season passed. That one that we were poor.
Yes, I know that. I know that. It's the last end of the transition. It's the last end of the transition. They're looking decent right now. I'll
From what?
guarantee you.
Did you
Come
watch the
Sunday,
preseason?
okay. Just remember, come Sunday. I said it. Yeah.
But this is the EPL though. This is the EPL. Anybody can lose.
Okay.
And they just
Yeah,
lost
I
their
understand
they just
They just lost their striker.
striker too.
Who?
They just lost
Is that Nkuku?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kuku's the attacking midfielder and
He's out,
striker. He can play
yeah.
both positions for them, innit?
Yeah. Well, with the Kwasi's question about Chelsea, they've got a new manager. They've got obviously Pochettino. We don't know how they're going to perform under him. They might do better. We don't know. So I'm not going to prejudge them. We have to wait and see how they go. But Laser, take it away, bro. So what you think, man?
Oh dear me. Typical Liverpool, innit? Typical Liverpool. You know, for me personally, all this business about Lavia, us getting in a DM, it should have been done weeks and weeks ago. Technically, every man in his dog knew Southampton were getting relegated. It was clear as day, you know, and we could see the talent there in Lavia. Surely there should have been some scouts or a hierarchy behind the scenes could have been looking at him and thinking, this is a potential player we're going to get for Liverpool. So for me, we should have tapped him up. And that deal should have been done June the 1st or whatever the date is, when the transfer window opened. He should have been holding up a Liverpool shirt with his squad number on there.
Yeah.
To me, this is criminal negligence. What FSG
Negligence at the highest order.
to Liverpool, to the point where I had a chat with Fuzzy earlier. I've had a chat with some of my other Liverpool mates. My blood's boiling, but it can't boil anymore because I've become so accustomed and so used to this bullshit. Pardon my language, you know, but it's a joke because you look at that game tonight, you know, the friendly game, the last preseason game, and it just looked chaotic for me, guys. It reminded me of the early club days. Now, I think a lot of Liverpool fans now, we have to have a lot of patience, and I think it's going to be teething problems like the early club reign. I don't expect us to put a title challenge in. However, it's not to say we can't do it, but I don't expect that, not with this defensive structure, the defensive midfield and the back line. There's a lot of work to be done, guys. And I think the Lavia thing, as Anton alluded to, skimping over for £5. Why don't we just pay it? For £5 million, why don't we just say, okay, Southampton, we've shut in their place for years now. Klein, Lallana, Lovren, Sadio Mane, Van Dijk, you name it. You know, and these players won us titles and championships, you know, bar and Lovrens and stuff in the early days and Klein. But for me, I think Southampton are making a statement now where they're sort of saying, look, this is our asking price. You've got to pay it. And, you know, whether we think he's not worth it, me personally, I don't think he's worth that fee.
None
I
of
think
us do,
football fees are getting beyond a joke now. Because
No one is.
it sets a dangerous game.
It's Premier League premium prices. That's what it is.
This is it, man.
Susan McGuire worth 85 million. It's a joke. Everyone was like, well, if I've got a team and the Premiership team come with my team.
And this is how you know things have changed, lads, because once upon a time, a relegated team would have had no right commanding those sort of fees. Not even once upon a time. As little as 3-4 years ago. 50 million kids for an unproven 19-year-old, you know. However, I do think he's got potential. And right now, we're looking desperate. This is desperate times for Liverpool, you know what I mean? It's crazy stuff, man.
We're trying to go we're not desperate. We are desperate.
Yeah,
it's worrying we're not desperate. That's what it's all right. We'll get it in time. It's all right.
It's worrying times because for me, sorry to cut you. What I would have liked to have seen him get the player in earlier and had a pre-season under his belt. Now we're going to be messing about now, thinking who we're going to start for Chelsea. I think the team that started tonight will be the team that starts against Chelsea. I think that's going to be the team that will start against Chelsea. And it's going to be difficult, guys. And for me, we've got to get something done by the end of the window, because if we don't, it's going to be a long season. For me, personally, it'll be a long season.
Oh,
You know what worries me, guys? Like, all of our rivals have, have strengthened, and we're stuck. we're actually stuck in one position, and we're not looking like we're going to be getting any better. That's what's scaring me more than anything. You look at Arsenal; they got a player for every position, like 3 times over. I mean,
Fuzzy, let me challenge
go
you
on.
a little bit.
Go on,
Let me
bro.
challenge you.
Go on, bro.
Let's compete with Arsenal as the team is right now.
Yeah.
Player to player, which one is better than ours?
Well, player for player, I'm not talking about the first team. You know what I mean? I'm talking about
No,
squad
the
in
first team is
general.
gonna
Yeah,
play.
the
Yeah.
first team is obviously we've got a better first team in my opinion, like because we've got the
Okay, let's go second,
the
second
experience.
team then. Second
They
team.
got it. They got second team and third team. They got 3 players for in every positions. We ain't got
No,
3 players.
second team, their midfield is better than our midfield, even their first team. But after that, front and back.
Yeah.
Who do you pick?
Sorry to cut you out. I would have to agree with what you're saying. I think Arsenal's midfield, as it stands now, is stronger than ours. It's stronger.
If Thiago is fit, I don't know. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Stronger.
with me,
you bring in
If-
the
if-
glass, Mr. Glass.
yeah, that's an if. I know what you're saying, Kwasi. But I'm looking at our team. Yeah, if you look at our team, let me actually bring up the chart, the actual formation. Then we could all discuss it. I could put it up here. 1 second. Hopefully, yeah. Obviously, the goalkeeper, hands down, our one is much better than theirs. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Dispute that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to dispute that. You can't dispute that, guys. There's no way you can dispute that. I mean, you can't dispute that. So, goalkeeper, hands down, our one is better. And our right back, have they got a right back that's consistent? Yeah. I mean,
White he's been doing.
is he better than
well,
Trent?
this is-
If Trent is on, like,
Not
back
as a
to-
passer. As
No.
a defender, maybe. As a defender,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, so you got to look at that, and then you look at the left back. Who's their left back? They don't even know. I mean,
Tierney,
So which position
Cole.
is which position is Timber?
hang on, there you go. So
So
this is today's team. This is today's team, guys. Yeah. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, can see it perfectly, man.
Okay. So if you could see, there you go. So this is today's team. So how I see it, if we put a starting lineup, is that back four is the back four. I'll put him. Sorry, I don't even know what. There you go. I'll put Thiago in that position. I'll put McAllister here. Soboslai there. I'll put him there. And this is my team, my first team. How do you guys see it? Do you guys see it any different from this?
You know what, Fuzzy?
If we don't buy anyone, that's what I'm saying. That's my first team.
You know that team. That team's a good team. What you're saying there. It depends on the opposition for me. It really depends on the opposition because I feel like that's a team. If you pull Thiago a little bit more back and pull, say, McAllister just slightly back, tuck Gakpo in a little bit more, similar to what Firmino's to play. I think that's more of a team that can play against the tougher teams like your Manchester Cities. However, if you swap Jota in there, I think that's a team against more of the middle of the table teams.
Well, like Jota for Gakpo or something like that. Or
swap Gakpo for Jota. If we're going to play, say, a smaller team, but if we're playing like a team like Man City, I think Gakpo can work harder. You know what I mean? Where we're not going to have more, where we're going to have less of the ball. I think that's a team. Looking at what you put there on paper, I think that's
so.
A
If you look
team.
at the Arsenal's first team and Liverpool's first team now, who looks more impressive? If everybody's fit,
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
there you go, guys. So we ain't got a bad team. It's just what's around that. That's the issue.
Well,
No, it's
I
Arsenal.
would flip flop Dom and McAllister. I don't think McAllister's going to play on the right. I think he'll play on the left.
Well, like this,
Dom will play right there. Yeah.
I think so too.
Man, that's a strong team.
That's where he's been starting the entire.
And then you could do like something like this. You know what I mean? You could even put, gap thing of Jota there, and look. Like either way, but it's just that midfield we can't swap around. That's the freaking problem. I mean, like, if you take, who can you take out for this?
Yeah, because you know what you're doing there, Fuzzy. Something to what you say. For example, now you got Thiago holding, and then Bativic. Is he experienced enough to carry that on his own? Not for me. He's too lightweight. So what you're saying there, you swap Thiago. Okay, we've had McAllister in there today as a trial. That's not going to be long term. It's obviously a temporary measure. I remember a lot of Liverpool fans starting putting Jones in there. I've never seen Jones do that role before.
Oh,
You could do something like this, you know what I mean? If we get him,
the other day.
there you go.
Yeah, I
You
tell
know
you,
what I mean?
guys.
That could be the midfield. That could be the midfield if we buy him.
You need Andre.
What I like about him, he's got energy in it. He will cover that area. He will sweep
all of
everything
it.
in the area. He will let these two play their game, like going forward, going back, and all that stuff. What I've seen of this guy here, Soboslai, guys, he's energetic, man. He runs up and down. He wins his battles. Same for him. You know what I mean? He does the same thing, but he's more like, you know, more calmer on the ball than most. That's what I like about him.
Keep ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't make a lot of forward passes.
Yeah, he's more
And with-
composed.
And with Soboslai, we haven't seen the extra quality he's got yet.
No,
Once he gets comfortable, he's got his feet under the table, that quality will shine through, in my opinion, guys.
Of course.
Like, listen, I want this kid just to get over the line, man. Stop mucking about and just get over the line, and then we'll see where we go from there. But we still need another player. We still need another player, guys.
Go
ahead.
Go on, 12, man.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna say something, I guess, a little controversial, probably clipped up for saying this too as well, but all the same, I'm ambitious. So I was gonna say this. Look, big up on the Thiago shout, because that's kind of a segue into like the episode I have coming up.
Yeah.
I have a really in-depth little piece on how Thiago is the answer. I also believe that the reason why I have Thiago being the answer for us at the 6 is because realistically, I think of once he's fit, he can become that luxury player. Now, if we utilize him as a luxury player and we just play him in the games that are, you know, more suited to him or suited to his skill sets and the need for him being in it, then I say, hey, play Curtis Jones in the 6 until Thiago and Bichette get both healthy. Then once they do, Thiago becomes your 6, and then you have Bichette, and then hopefully you can get Andre or even a Lavia or Andre and Lavia as a platoon for him, so that eventually you'll have Thiago as your luxury player, and you'll be able to have these 19-year-olds or even the 20. I think Andre is 21, I believe, or something like that. To have these young, youthful players being the platoon players that, you know, do all the extra legwork, give them the breaks when it's necessary and everything else. But a lot of people sleep on Thiago being a 6, and it's kind of sad because, I mean, like, realistically, you know, football IQ alone, Thiago has the ability to be able to incorporate that position. He's played the position before, well, and Thiago is somewhat of a player that doesn't go into the final third. If you look at his numbers, he's primarily a person that stays in the midfield.
He's a deep playing playmaker.
Playmaker,
and he's aggressive. And he's aggressive.
Playmaker, but he can tackle really well.
Right. And you look at the
cynical fouls as well.
Right. You look at that's exactly the segment that I have ready to go is that, you know, you're gonna I'm not trying to get too many spoilers, but like you're gonna see the fact that you're gonna have a lot of, he does know how to play defense. His defensive skills are very well underrated. If you didn't have to press him so forward and he didn't have to cover so much field, then if you just had him basically migrating in that mid-third of the field, hey, you might even save some of his legs, you know, because he's not having to push so far forward. You allow Trent to do that extra heavy lifting or work, you know, because he's the younger of the two. So look, I'm not really so pressed on the Lavia thing. I think that Liverpool, I think Klopp himself knows the same things that I'm at least, I believe, pointing out, and that, you know, once we are fit and ready, and he has these 2 components of the 6 ready and good to go, I think we'll be able to work it out.
Yeah,
the only thing, sorry to interrupt you there, Levers. The only thing for me, what you alluded to with Thiago, I think the reason why a lot of people are sleeping on him because he's made of windows, he's made of glass.
Mr. Glass.
He can't keep fit because I spoke to a couple of Liverpool fans today, and I spoke to yourself, Fuzzy, and I called at the midfield. And did I mention Thiago to you, Fuzzy? I didn't, did I?
No, you didn't.
Because I don't trust him. I'm sorry to say it, guys. I don't trust Thiago. I have no faith and trust that he can keep fit, you know, for 3 months of the season. So that is, you know, if he was a guy that could keep fit, of course we're putting him in there.
Bro, if he could be fit,
you know what I mean?
oh,
but he
God.
can't keep fit. He cannot keep fit. And to me, it's just letdown after letdown, and it's not his fault.
No.
You know, he can't help himself getting injured, and I feel we have to be more ruthless now. You know, we sound like a broken record now, and it's sad to see a team of this, you know, our stature, Liverpool, one of the biggest institutions in world football, never mind England. You know, I'm gonna bite my tongue what I say tonight, but scrapping around.
Laser.
Don't talk about the owners yet. We're gonna get into that.
You know what I mean? Scrapping around.
You can't call. I get that Thiago's been hurt, and I'm not saying that he's not injury prone or he hasn't had a history of being injured. However, do you remember that game when I think it was Richarlison basically tried to take him out at the knee or whatever, try to do.
Yeah. That's the same game Van Dijk got injured.
And he continued to play on during that game.
Yeah.
Man, if he was Mr. Glass per se, he would have gotten that knock and been out. That guy labored through that and still.
That was the first bit of glass. That was the first tempered bit of glass he had, bro.
That's the first
time. After that, that was it. Come on, man. His record is a shambles, man. I'm telling you, Samuel Jackson will be glad.
I'm hoping
Samuel L. Jackson will say, "Man, you played it well. You played it real good, man. You played it real good."
And so I'm telling you, I'm hoping that. The best thing we can hope for is that this hip surgery has done the deed. Has basically prevents him, because I think, you know, with the hip surgery, maybe it corrects his balance, maybe it helps him not overcompensate, which was possibly giving him a lot of the injuries, a lot of things. I'm not a physical therapist or anything like that. I'm not trying to pretend like I am, but it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes when you do get the surgery and you get the proper rehab and you just move on from trying to allow for whatever it is that you're trying to hope heals, possibly this does it, and possibly now he won't have those nagging, lingering, I should say, injuries. And that's what I'm looking for, is that.
Kwasi, what do you think of like that formation I gave you, that team I gave you, like with Thiago in that position? Do you are you doubting it if we haven't got no one, you know, other than, you know, those players?
I mean, I was seeing some comment from Klopp that said we would need to find a formation for Chelsea. Klopp can go 4-2-3-1 and play two holding midfielders rather than just playing Thiago. I don't want to see Thiago by himself as a 6. But if he's playing with somebody else, because that's what he did at Bayern.
True.
Yeah, but the thing is, even the team that you put out there, Liverpool team is identical to Chelsea's team. A lot of pace going forward. The defense is not as good as people think Chelsea defense is.
Yeah.
You know, they got Thiago, who's 400 years old.
Yeah, but he's still one of the best. He's still one of the best around. He's still one of the best around. People forget about him. He's still one of the best around.
No, you're good, but if you get exposed, he's gonna be in trouble because he can't run. You know, he's very smart. He's a smart defender.
You know, like the team I put up, guys. What I like about it, even though, like, you know, we still need the players to come in, is no matter who we face, we'll position them. We're not gonna like you know, lose the ball a lot, and then it will lead to goals or lead into chances. If you look at that team, like Szoboszlai, McAllister, and Thiago in the middle. Like Anton said, with Thiago, he's aggressive as well. You know what I mean? He could do tackles as well as, you know, pass the ball well. So that's something in our advantage. But how long can they stay fit together in order for that to continue? You know what I mean? So we saw that first team. After that, we got Curtis Jones. Laser, do you rely on Curtis Jones?
Nah, I don't rely Curtis Jones.
Harvey Elliott. You know what I mean? Players like that.
Not at all for me.
Question: Why do we think that our players that we have are not good enough? The manager said they're good enough. That's why he didn't sell them or send them on loan. I think Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans. We need to stop this thing of we pocket watch too many people. I don't care how many players Chelsea got.
Yeah.
That's why if you watch my channel, I haven't talked about any other rival because I focus on Liverpool. Liverpool need two holding midfielders. After that, we are a threat. There was City. The only team City is scared of is Liverpool. Even out
100%.
So Liverpool fans got to stop putting down our players, thinking that we should just go buy players buy players, but the manager does not like that. He
Yeah.
is not that
That's
type of
Brendan
manager.
Rodgers.
I think he is like
That's
that. I think he is like that.
Rodgers
I just think that it's just too tight, my friend. I just think FSG is too tight, and he knows them. He's like, you know
But this
what?
is
I know
okay.
you're not
I
going
think they've already-
to take wallet out. I know it. I just know it because you're too tight.
No,
Not
but
even
Anton,
ask you that.
Anton. What
Yeah.
we need to understand about FSG and Klopp is he know what he signed up for. When he signed that contract,
Yeah.
he knew he ain't getting nothing. That's why other managers, top managers, rejected us because they knew that they don't have the bank account. You know what I mean? So he signed up for that. So that's his problem. If you know what I mean. But he needs to find a way, in my opinion, to get himself out of that situation we're in. Because if we don't qualify for Champions League football next season, how many more chances is Klopp gonna get, guys? You know what I mean? And
It'll be a failure, man.
it's a frightening thing that can happen to us. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong, it is. But the thing is, after him, who will take that knowing that you have to sell to buy? And then them guys, FSG, are at the helm. Who? Tell me now.
Then-
There's
Tell me
going to
now.
be so many people. There's going to be so many.
Yeah, there's
there's
going to be so
so-
many people who ain't got a job. There's going to be
No.
ones who
Yeah.
come
No,
from...
no, you'll be surprised.
Job
You'll
centre.
be surprised.
What?
You'll be
Some
surprised.
managers, they've been job centre guys. I'm a
You'll be
labourer.
surprised.
I've watched it. I'm a labourer. I'm a labourer for about 12 years. I watch football, but I've never managed a team, but I'll do a job for you. That's
No,
what
no.
you get.
I
Are you
see where you're
serious?
coming from. What you said about managers lining up. I think it'd be a case of up and coming, unproven managers that are hungry and they want
That
to
need a
test
job.
themselves.
That
Are they
need a
going to be
job.
good enough to
Yeah,
take
but-
Liverpool
That
back
need
to
a
the
job.
upper echelons?
Job
No, I have
centre.
a question.
I told you.
I have a question though.
Let me finish. Let me finish for a
Yeah.
second. I think with Klopp,
Go on, Liz.
excuse me. I
Go
think
on,
with
go on.
Jurgen Klopp, he's an elite manager. I think when we got him at the time, 7 years ago, FSG struck gold. You know, I always speak to my friend about this. It was almost akin to getting state ownership. That's how much Klopp, how much weight he holds. You know, I knew from the get-go, as soon as Jurgen Klopp became our manager, Manchester United fans knew. I had one of my Manchester United mates phoning me and saying, you know what, Laser, I'm worried about you like getting Klopp, because every man and his dog knew it was a matter of time before Liverpool got back to the top. And I feel like it's going to be very hard. I feel like FSG use that to their advantage, because a lot of managers out there right now, top managers and up-and-coming top managers, wouldn't pull up with the nonsense what is happening at Liverpool.
No.
This why
They wouldn't pull up with it.
this why I disagree, because managers that are up can come in actually build a team. They don't just spend money. Where are all these super managers? All of them are old. They're all being pushed away. Mourinho is stuck in Rome. He can't even win anymore. So we can't keep saying all these people would not do this. You have to. It took Klopp 14 years to get to Liverpool. People think he just showed up.
Yeah.
It took him. He had to show us how to build. Pep built. As much as people think that Pep spent money, he still built. He just don't go and spend money willy-nilly. How many money has he spent this year? He's bought only what, 2 players?
Yeah.
So we need to stop
For
thinking
the
that.
team, though.
Yeah, we need to stop thinking that people are just Liverpool. Klopp has a system. The owners will never go over his system. That's why he never went to Madrid.
Yeah.
He had all the money in the world. He chose to go to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because you go to Madrid, now you have to listen to Perez.
I can agree with you. He loves the project. I can agree with you. He loves the project, man. But you still need some people.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm
Sorry,
gonna be.
you still need money. You still need money. Not all the money in the world, but you still need something, my friend.
And
But what kind of money does he need though? There's the question. What kind of money? What kind of player is Klopp go? Who he doesn't like Neymar.
He admitted he needed money after
Everybody
he made
needs
the mistake
money.
last season. No,
Yeah.
after the season, the mistake last season, he came out himself and said, "You know what? Yeah, I made a mistake. We do need."
But that was his fault. That was his
players.
fault.
You didn't need money.
That was his fault. He was given the money. He chose not to spend it. That one has nothing to do with the owners.
What
Remember,
money was he given?
he wanted to Chouamini, and he didn't get Chouamini, and he said, "I don't have it. I don't see any better."
They
bid from
said
the
that.
side."
I think
He said it himself.
Yes, I believe.
No, we can't make
F-
excuses for
FSG.
him. We can't make excuses for him.
FSG, I think they're sly. You know, I think they're like.
Okay, that that's a debate that I can't go for because
them guys there,
no, that's speculation and
they're very
conspiracy.
sly, man.
All
They're
I
very
know is
sly,
that-
slippery guys, man.
All I know
Sorry.
is Klopp came out. Klopp
Sorry
came
to
out.
interrupt you.
What's the go Kwasi? Just finish it off. Go on.
Klopp came out himself last year, and a lot of people he got frustrated because they kept asking, "Are you sure your midfield gonna hold?" And he said, "Who better out there can I get?" This whole Jude stuff. The Jew staff he knew he was not coming a year ago because he told them, I'm not coming, I'm going to Madrid. He was in the Madrid press box, chilling with them when we were playing the final. So he was not coming. It's the Junos and ITKs who kept telling us he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. That was done. We can't blame the owners, we can't blame Klopp. The part that I'm frustrated with Klopp is when he couldn't get Tchouaméni, he should have gone for somebody else. He kept the money. He chose Nunes over any other midfielder.
Yes.
We have to hold people accountable. We can't just say it's
100%.
FSG and this. We got to hold people accountable.
Did we sell players and took money off the wage bill?
What's it going to do with the new players, though?
Nunes was about 16 million altogether, wasn't he?
No, 85 if we win champions.
No. When we sold the players and the wage structures and things like that,
we only sold money. We only sold money.
We only sold money.
Yeah, and who else did we sell last year?
Just money, as far as I'm concerned, didn't it? Just Sadio Mane.
I don't know if there's any.
Minamino was 12 million.
Yeah,
Origi.
Basically, Origi plays off the books. Yeah.
Wait, the right back. What's the right back? Right back used to play for us.
Nico Williams.
Nico was gone before.
He was gone. How much? 17.
No, he was gone last season. He was gone.
He was gone.
But we got money for him.
That money accumulated for him. For that money was.
But if Klopp says I don't want any, okay, let me ask you a question. If Klopp says I don't want any more players, why does Jobly Henry Carter do? Klopp just told you I don't want any more players because my midfield.
He's too humble, man. He's too humble.
Then blame on Klopp.
He's too humble, bro. He's too humble.
I'm
blaming.
And
I can't lucky, man, for doing well.
And Laser, even Kwasi, isn't the same criticism that you're putting on Klopp is very similar to what I believe Brendan Rodgers got to face when, in the sense of, look, Brendan Rodgers just wanted bodies. He didn't really care about the fact of whether they were world class, top level, this or that. I mean, he just wanted bodies because he knew that he needed players on the club, know, and Liverpool answered his need. They just brought him whoever they could get, they got him, But Klopp's a different type of manager, in my opinion, in that he's not looking for just any player. He's looking for the right player. And like the right player has to fit into his system. Otherwise, you're going to see an Arthur. Like people are like, "Oh, why didn't Arthur Melo play?"
Who pushed that player on us, though, Sport Man? I don't think that's Klopp's player. I don't think he wanted that player.
No,
he didn't play him.
That's FSG doing their homework.
Arthur.
Mela. Melo last year. Arthur.
Yeah.
Klopp didn't want him.
Right, and I mean it showed. And it showed. That's my point of like. There's no people keep saying, "Oh, let's just get a player. Let's just get a player. Let's just get a player." That'd be fantastic in the sense of if you're looking at it from a numbers perspective. But the realistic thing is, Klopp's still probably not going to play him. Two, there are options from our academy or our youth options that he's more interested in trying to build and get experience with. If he's forced to do that, then have to take a player on that's not going to play, that he doesn't see in any type of putting into the future of this club. There's no point in getting those types of players. If you're going to get a player to put into the system or into his team, you get a player that's actually going to contribute. That's all he wants, and that's all he's looking for.
Fit in the system.
A lot of the needs and concerns that we have, they're warranted. But I mean, realistically, I'm not going to go out for, at least if I was sporting director, I wouldn't go out and try to get a player that I know is going to be a waste of money or end up being a person that just ends up not fitting for this club. And that's just not good business, in my opinion.
And we have to look at it this way. Well, one thing, Fauzi. Club, we talking about Southampton, right?
Yeah.
FSG wanted to buy him Koulibaly, and he says, "No, I want Virgil." The guy said, "I don't want anybody else except Virgil," and he stick to his guns.
And that came out good, didn't it? Yeah.
Came out
exactly. Well. So yes, Klopp has some good side, and those good side, if it works, it's perfect. If it doesn't, we get stuck with situations like that. And 12 Man knows how I like Edwards.
Yeah.
Edwards wanted a lot of players gone. Klopp said, "No, I want to keep him."
Yeah.
So we have to be careful on how we put the shift of blames or anything. There's one point, there was a part where Klopp needed players, and then they told him, "The player you want, we can't get to you now." And he didn't want anybody else, and he got frustrated.
Yeah.
So we have to listen. If we listen to Klopp, he tells you the truth. He always tells you the truth. You just have to pay attention.
Yeah, when
you
you
know
those
what?
press
Pay
conferences,
attention.
yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean we have to
Laser.
like it though. It doesn't have to
No,
mean we
no,
like
no.
it. And let me finish.
Yeah, you
I
don't
think
have to
what
like
a lot
it.
of people's qualms is, you're talking about the right player for the right system. I wholeheartedly agree. I do agree what you say. We cannot just get any and anyone and say, right, I want him,
100%.
I want
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
I want him, and I want him. Look at Manchester United over the years. I know playing fantasy football
Perfect.
manager. It doesn't work that way. But I think a lot of people's argument is, out of all the players in world football, surely there's got to be players that are in the region of 30-something million that can fit the club system. It's, why do we have to always wait and then end
But
up, feeling the pain for it, i.e. injured players, missing out on the Champions League, missing out
Right.
on trophies.
But didn't you just contradict yourself? Didn't you just contradict yourself? You said you have to get the right player. The right player has to be the right player according to the manager's eyes, not as the fans. And I agree with you. There's a lot of players out
There's a
there.
lot of
You're
players.
telling me nobody can fit
And
I
it.
haven't
that's
finished
what
what I was going to say, but what I was going to
Mhm.
say is I don't feel like the scouting team and hierarchy are looking enough. I think it's
No.
too easy to look
That's
close
the
to
There
point.
you go.
and we're looking
There
at
you
the
go.
That's the
Premier League.
point.
That's just my opinion.
That's the
Shit.
point.
I don't. You know what? You know what? That's an easy way. That's an easy. I want to say. I don't. This isn't at all disrespectful. Like I say, but that's an easy cop out that fans can utilize. It's saying, "Oh, the scouting team's not doing their job," when in essence they are doing their job. It just so happens that, for instance, a lot of South American talent does not go to the English league, English Premier League. Okay, a lot of the Spanish talent, or excuse me, the South American talent, for instance, ends up going to Portugal, or they end up going to.
Wait. Say that to Brighton.
Yeah.
Say that to Brighton, my
Now,
friend.
saying that to Brighton.
Right.
If I was running Liverpool, I'll sack all of them and invest and getting and buying these guys, Brighton, the scouts and these guys, because our scouts are absolute shit.
I
Terrible.
think they went to
In my
Newcastle.
opinion.
I think they went to Newcastle or something. The scouts anyway. The ones
They're
that Brighton.
poor, man.
Yeah. Go on,
poor.
talk,
Yes.
man.
But what I was saying though is that, like, I get that we can get frustrated with the scouting and everything else, because I would love to get a South American superstar or something along those lines. I mean, I do believe we have one from Colombia, but all the same, I still would like to get some other South American superstars to kind of give the kind of like South American flair that they bring.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's not an easy process sometimes, because we look at it and, like, a lot of these players are targeting La Liga, or they're targeting Portugal to go, primarily because of the culture, primarily because the language difference.
It's something similar to them.
Those
It's something
things
similar to
help.
their background. Yeah.
Help the process, that helps the learning process and everything else. And what the other little pushback again is that I get that we can also get frustrated with what Klopp does and everything else, but it is a complete system. I've always been like, people might say, "Oh, well, you're always supporting Klopp, or supporting Liverpool or players." No, more so, I think of it as, I look at it as a collective, and it's not just all Klopp.
Don't take it. Yeah. You're right.
Klopp takes blame in this, and the players need to take blame in their performance.
And us as fans as well.
Ultimately, it's not FSG or Klopp out there performing or asking to perform. It's the players that need to step up and perform. So ultimately, it's a combination of the three. And if one seems to like lack or misfire, then you can sometimes see differences. But I just see it as more so, I think that the system that we create, Kwasi said it alone, like, he was a big Edwards fan. For the longest period of time, we weren't necessarily questioning FSG.
No.
If anything, FSG has set the model, or this administration has set the model when it comes to how players are found out, how players are brought into the system, how we have the wage structures built up, how all these different things are built up. A lot of it is structured after FSG, which is more to their credit than people give them.
You know what I said, Top man, like in Jamie Phillips' show before. What I said is, if FSG spend like with the likes of Van Dijk, sell to buy, whatever they do, they need to buy players for the future at the same time as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they could get them for cheap, but nurture them along the way, so they will learn from those players ahead of them. Then you don't have to spend a lot of money afterwards, would you? Like if you think about it that way. But they didn't go down that route. Like we're every season we're just like waiting at from Fabrizio Romano or Paul Joyce to announce something, and it's never a good news. That's what we are at the moment. But we need to get back to basics, in my opinion. Get back to basics and do what we was doing good before, in order for us to get back where we was.
Fozzie, what world class I mean, not just the past 30 years or going on near 40 years now, but you know, a lot of people just look at Premier League. Okay, I mean, obviously Liverpool has had a long storied history long before the Premier League, but you know, what world-class talent has Liverpool? What world-class talents has Liverpool ever really brought in or won out and gotten, even before FSG? And then my second question is this: when you talk about bringing in DMs, Fabinho was world-class. I mean, not necessarily not last year, but has been world-class. Or the production that we have in our mind coming from the DM has been world-class, if not number one world-class in the world. Okay, type of production. When we think of the DM production, and we saw the results of a DM on that level from that production. Yeah. What DM is available that is affordable? One, like transfer-wise, wage-wise, and then has the production level that we're expecting. It's a very small number, and if anything, that even that small number, a lot of them are untouchable. So I get that we want to get this world-class player. If we get a youthful player, fantastic. That youthful player is going to have to grow. It's going to have to evolve into that world-class player. It's not going to be just automatic, hits the ground running, and we say, "Oh, he's
12 man." I agree with you. I agree with you 100% what you're saying. But how I see it is like last season, we was in trouble from day one. We didn't look. We was going to improve anyway, anyhow. So in the middle of the season, why didn't they have the plan in place so you could bring these players that you need in this current team in this season? That's what I don't understand. Because you know, Kwasi, you knew it from like the middle of the season we was in trouble. I mean, you knew we were stuck in 8th and 9th majority of the season. So you got come on, like you should know from that time. Oh damn, we might need to look at some players. Let's get them in, you know, for the new season, so we could get them for pre-season, so we could prepare them for the new season. But we don't even do that. You know what I mean? We're still dilly-dallying around this kid.
But still answer the question of what top player.
There's a lot of players available.
At a DM, I'm just asking for a DM. I'm not asking for, you know, other locations on the pitch.
Listen, I've always said Caicedo. You know, I'm a big fan of Caicedo. I said, why don't we get Caicedo, pay 80 million, and give a player to them, like someone that is not going to play. Then you could reduce the actual funds. You get what I'm saying?
We could have done that
We could have done something like that, Fabinho or someone. But we didn't even do that.
We didn't even do that. Million and Keita.
We could have done two for the price of one. No, Milner and Keita.
But to say, do you? I mean, like.
But do you get what I'm saying? But when we had the chance to do that,
is in England, it's bagman, right? Isn't that the trash man? I don't know. It's the trash man. It's the bagman in England, right? There's no way that Brighton, is looking at themselves as picking up your trash. They're just not saying that they're trash players. You know, all respect due. But they're not. If we're looking,
but you're getting the finance in though, bro. You're getting the finance as well as a player. Yeah. What
they're gonna do is they're gonna say, we don't want him. We're okay, great. You're gonna give him, great, but we still want 100 million. You can give us that.
They're not gonna do it. Listen, it's about smart business. Like you guys talk about Michael Edwards. It's smart business, bro. You got to be smart and things like that.
It's smart, but we act like no one else.
Look at the way.
We act like no one else can do smart business. Brighton obviously has been doing smart business. They've seen Chelsea. We've seen Chelsea. They've seen Chelsea spend, overspend, if anything, you know. And now all of a sudden Chelsea wants to get tight with their purses and not pay what their valuation is. And Brighton's like, okay, cool. We got this guy signed up. Go ahead, go for it.
But 12 man Liverpool have done it before. Look what they've done with McAllister. Look what they've done with Soboslai. You know what I mean? These players.
McAllister was a release deal. It was not.
Yeah, but they've done a smart business. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you could do smart businesses, like I said, put another player on top of that transfer. You got so many players that you're not going to use in the first team. But that's how I see it. That's how I see it, bro.
McAllister was a unique situation in that we were fortunate that McAllister signed his deal before the World Cup. Therefore, his evaluation before the World Cup was far lower than his evaluation after the World Cup, and we got fortunate. That's why we got the $35 million release clause.
But like you said, anyone else could have. Anyone else? You're telling me
That release
12
cost
man.
same as Casado, if anything, I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, 12 man, that's smart business, though, isn't it? Like like any other club. Listen, it's not like McAllister is not wanted by other clubs. If other clubs knew about things like that, they would have actually went in as well
Yeah,
with
but
Liverpool.
that's the thing. He chose Liverpool.
But he
There you
chose
go.
Liverpool too, though.
He chose Liverpool, made it easier for us.
That made it a
Dom.
lot easier. Exactly.
Remember, City
Those are
wanted
powerful
City wanted McAllister, but we have to look at it this way. Liverpool's problem started when we won the Champions League,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
they didn't.
100%. Yeah.
they
I've always
did
said that.
They did not start a rebuild. Now, that part, we need to figure out who is the problem, because that is not the owners. And I know we want to talk about the owners. Maybe this will be the segue. We have to look at it this way. If I ask every one of you, what does Liverpool or W. Henry knows about football?
Nothing.
Okay, so that means they hired a bunch of football people to take care of the football business, right?
Yeah, they're still recruiting, I think. Yeah.
No, not the recruitment. There are people who does the upper management, Club being one, Billy Hogan being one. I guess that's his name, right?
Yeah.
The recruitment people,
Mike
they
Gordon.
are that's Mike Gordon and all those people. Why people never talk about them? And it's always W. Henry don't know anything about sports. He just watches and enjoys himself.
Listen,
The people he hired.
FSG is the dad in the house.
Okay. What, Anton? One
Don't
second.
be the mum.
Anton,
Don't be
one
the mum.
second. Okay, Trudeau said I'd rather kept Fabinho over Thiago because he's more available. Yeah, maybe to some people. Yeah. Do you guys agree with that, or the panel?
I agree to it. I do agree, but I think it was too easy for FSG to turn down that money. £40 million. It's never going to turn that down.
I think
No,
it's
no, turn that down.
Laser? What do we buy him for? Around £40 million too. 45 million, I think, or something.
Yeah.
Was
What,
the
for
price-
Fabinho?
Yeah, Fabinho.
Sorry, say that again.
Fabinho. Didn't we buy Fabinho for about
Yeah,
40,
for 40 million quid. 40 million quid.
Yeah, a little bit north of
6
40
years
million.
ago, yeah,
Bought him
about
for.
that.
If you told me that we're going to get a premier, you're going to get like a couple of titles or 7 titles under his usage, get him during his world-class stage of his prime years, and then we're going to sell him and get the same amount of money that we paid for him. I'm all
Great business.
I'm all
Great
in.
business.
Everyone's doing that.
Can't ask for
Great
much.
business.
No
Great
brainer.
business.
But
All right, guys.
to answer
Go.
what Antoine was saying, Henry is the daddy of the house. That's why at the end of the day, the blame will go to him, regardless of what happened. The blame goes to him. The same way, if we win, the congratulations needs to go to him. He can't take it both ways. There are things that they have over trusted people to do the job, and there's no pressure coming from above to take care of the business, right? That's where my frustration is. There's too much trust with Klopp. There's too much trust with Billy Hogan, who is part of the FSG group, Mike Gordon, all of them. But these people don't want to do business like everybody else. And the funny thing is, City is doing business like FSG, except they got more money.
Yes, sir.
So we have to look at it. What is the problem? Is it the scouting? If that's the case, let's get a whole new scouting system.
Scouting, FSG, and a bit of Klopp. I'm gonna 100%. It's got to be that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the,
Scouting.
I'm not having a go at Klopp. Like I said in the beginning, like with Klopp, he signed up for this. He signed up for this. He knew what he was signing for. No other manager would have taken that as well. So yeah. So we're gonna move on, obviously, to the owners. This is what I said. Like you guys could decide what you think. So, guys, if we don't get Champions League football, if we don't even challenge for the title this season, are our owners living on borrowed time? I mean, because are we going to accept finishing in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever position outside the top 4 the coming season, with FSG still going to be at the helm next season? Or are we going to say our goodbyes and everybody, is, jumping on the board of like getting rid of FSG? Laser, go for it, bro.
I don't think it's going to happen, to be fair, because I've heard people say numerous times, if we don't get Champions League or we don't get XYZ player, we're going to do protests and we're going to go FSG out. And it hasn't happened. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen enough noise yet. Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of the Liverpool fan base, there's a lot of talk, you know, when it comes to certain things. And I think there's a lot of acceptance as well from fan base, accepting mediocrity for me, because I would have a conversation with one set of Liverpool fans and they'd be like, yeah, it's not right what FSG is doing, you know, we're not spending and we're not trying to stay at the top. And then one week they change their mind, they go, no, FSG is doing good. They're spending money on the stadium. We're stable. We don't want to become like oil owners and stuff like that. And it's like, make your mind up, man. And I think for me, if we do, God forbid, because it's not going to be pretty, if we do finish at the Champions League places next season, I think FSG ain't going nowhere. I think it'll be a case of the fan base starting to point the finger at Klopp, the daddy now.
Damn.
I think, yeah, I don't think it will be with FSG. I really do. Because when you think about it, you know, Klopp's had the COVID season. Okay, due circumstances, injuries, it couldn't be out. You know, we had the season last season as well. It was a very poor season, you know, for our level. And if it was to happen again, I think a lot of fans will start to point the finger at Klopp and say, is he the man to take us forward to building this Liverpool Part 2 team? I don't think it'll be a case of FSG, a large portion of the fan base clubbing together and protesting and saying, let's drive them out of the club. Because when you think about it, Jurgen Klopp is only a man and he's only the manager. He does not define Liverpool FC. You see where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There'll be a lot of fans that will be hurt because for me personally, I believe Jurgen Klopp deserved a lot better during his tenure at Liverpool. He deserves a bit more money to spend to get certain players that he needed to keep us at that top. I believe we missed the trick 3-4 years ago when we could have dominated football for the next 4 or 5 years. I really do believe that. You know, as you alluded to earlier, I forgot to pronounce your name. I don't want to butcher it.
Kwasi,
Yes,
yeah.
Kwasi, yeah. My apologies if I butchered it.
No problem,
And
brother.
you were saying, okay, when we won the Champions League in 2019, and I always say this, me and Kwasi had numerous conversations about this. We bought Harvey Elliott, that was unproven at the time, 16-year-old from Fulham, Adrian on the free, and Sepp Vandenberg. That's nowhere to be seen now. We should have strengthened just little bits and pieces, little puzzles, why we was on top. Because I feel like if we'd have put the foot down a little bit more on Manchester City's throat, we could have kicked on. And it's not always about money, because you can look back to nearly 20 years ago when Chelsea burst on the scene, and a lot of teams were worried, particularly Manchester United and Arsenal at the time. We were nowhere near challenging. Oh, Chelsea's here to stay. They were spending money like it was going out of fashion. Alex Ferguson just got a little bit of tweaks, a little bit of players, and what happened? Manchester United still overtook Chelsea and won 3 titles on a row. So it's not always about the money, it's just spending a little bit here at a time, getting the right players. And I feel FSG has failed Klopp in that aspect. I really do. But long and short of it is what you said, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
I don't think FSG's in any danger. I think if we finish outside the top floor, a lot of things will be pointed at Klopp for me.
Damn. Anton, what about you, brother? We're near the end, by the way, guys. We're near the end, so brace yourselves.
FFT out. FFT out. Listen, why did they sell? Like they put up the club to sell. Did they not put up the club to sell? Why did it sell? Because these people pay money. You bought the club for 300 million. You could have got what? You got way more than that. And in return, then it said go back to and play basketball or hockey, whatever you want to play, and give it to someone who actually likes football and they're gonna get something from it.
Yeah.
But for me, they're just these guys, just money, man. But then again, that's the rich man. That's all they want is money.
There's only one way. Like, if you own a house or you own a car, you might say, you know, you own, I don't know, a car that you evaluate as a $50,000 car. Okay, but that's your evaluation of it. You know, you never know what your actual car is worth until you put it up for sale. So I mean, like, realistically, I get that people are all up in arms about the sale and the why did they put it up for sale? Why did they even speculate? But I mean, realistically, when you saw Newcastle get bought out, when you started hearing the rumors and rumbles of possibly Manchester United getting bought out by this new infusion of money coming from the Middle East, you know, when you saw these things, all of a sudden they're like, all right, well, let me see how much my car or house or my asset.
They're flirting. What was the flirting for, man? If you're gonna,
I mean, I get it. There's no one way to look at it.
Tell the Bumble Club, man.
It helps them in their mind say, hey, you know what? Like, all right, well, we have an evaluation of what we think this club is worth, $5 billion or whatever they evaluated that.
Yeah,
okay, cool. Well, now they're going to put it out there and they're going to say, hey, does anyone else agree with us? And if they did, they step up and they make the sale. You know, they put their money where their mouth is. But I mean, realistically, you know, football is an interesting business, because a lot of people talk about business, but it's very difficult to make money in this business or in football business. Like, you can say what you want about American sports, but the difference is the NFL, the NBA, the you know, MLB, or baseball, they don't have relegations, so they know what they're getting every year. They turn the lights on. They know there's a check and it's going to be X amount, you know, as opposed to they've got the World Series. In football in Europe, though, you could be 1 year making, you know, so much money, making Premier League check, and then next minute you're out of the league or in championship making 60%, and then you're watching your check get smaller and smaller and smaller as they wean you off that like, you know, Premier League heroin, basically, in essence, you know.
Listen,
so,
as you said about the money thing.
Realistically, it's a lot easier to say a lot of these things, but the realistic portion of it is that, you know, it's a different, when people try to equate FSG's ownership of clubs in America versus their ownership of a club in Europe, it's not an equal playing field. So it's a little bit different.
But what do you stand on it anyway? Like, next season, if we don't finish in the top four, like we finish like 6th, 5th, whatever, 8th, like, are the fan base gonna, you know?
I know. I'm one of those expect the best, prepare for the worst type persons. Yeah. Like, I know I get razzed for like a lot of having sometimes. No,
listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion
of positivity. But I mean, realistically, you know what? I look at it differently. This year, we're going to look at a bunch of clubs that are now, for a first time in a long time, that are like either in the top 4 or top 5, as we're calling it now, you know, or that are for the first time being in that top 4 or being contenders in that top 4. You have Newcastle, you have Arsenal all of a sudden making a real splash in being contenders. And those teams are now going to be placed in the sense of, you're not playing in Europa, you're not playing in these you're not playing in different types of tournaments where you're now going to have to use your first team. You're going to have the emphasis of what you're going to have to utilize with that first team, because a lot of times, let's just be honest, a lot of times last year for Arsenal, they got fortunate that their first team, other than Jesus, was primarily pretty consistent in availability. And that produced a lot of consistency and was able for them to gel and be able to take that run and get a good run of games for their success. However, towards the middle and towards the end, especially with a prolongated year with the World Cup in it, you saw the cracks and you saw the true frailty of their club start to show their face. And the fatigue set in, and that's why, if anything, the shark ended up getting them, you know, and that is City. So I look at it this year as that Liverpool has a unique opportunity to not have to necessarily play in a league or play in a tournament that is going to require the services of overplaying Thiago, overplaying those senior role players that we're normally seeing happen. And with that said, I can see us going very deep. I see us winning Europa, but you know, we're definitely should be the favorite to win Europa. That gets us in Champions League alone. Okay, I see also us playing well this year because we're not playing 12 o'clock kickoffs on Saturdays any longer this year because of Europa. You know, those things are going to be different. As long as I see an improved away form, I'm cool with this club. I'm cool with what we did, because of our away form was our Achilles heel last year.
Oh, it was awful,
and absolutely it was absolutely awful. And whatever that was, the away cooking, or maybe we need to figure out a way to I don't know, bring there's wives, you know, on the thing, or whatever it is. We need to sort something out.
I like this guy.
Away form is where
brilliant. Kwasi, same goes for you, mate.
Good piece that was.
Finally, what's your opinion on it if we finish outside the top 4 next season? Where do you stand? Is it more of Klopp than the actual owners, or?
Well, I mean, they're all guilty. At the end of the day, like I said, the owner takes the biggest share of the blame because he is the owner, right? The owners. I mean, I don't care what it is. The owners, even if his Klopp is the reason why we fail, you still have to blame the owners. But the fans are going to be upset, but that's about it. If you want a change, then don't watch Liverpool anymore. Don't talk about Liverpool anymore. Let Liverpool stock drop. Maybe then J.W. Henry will sell. But if we are not willing to do that, we have to just support the team and hope that they do well. But in terms of the owner,
regardless.
Yeah. So
regardless, man.
So the thing is, Liverpool fans have not told us what they want. All they keep saying is back club. But yet he gets 100 million every so often to buy players.
Yeah.
Now my thing is, what happened? That's the question. I'm an Edwards fan.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
a
too.
Klopp
Me
fan.
too. Me too.
I'm an Edwards fan. I'm a Klopp fan. Klopp was the final puzzle to the piece of the jigsaw that FSG created. When one of them left, it became a problem. Remember, Edwards was there, but we were not getting that success until Klopp came in, and Klopp became the final piece for us to be able to go. So that's the part where people forget, thinking that, oh, Klopp came in and he's no. The players that Klopp wanted, Edward chose different.
Yeah.
So are we going to blame FSG for not wanting to buy Julian Brandt? No, we're going to blame FSG for not buying, who was the other guy?
I mean, Lamar, and there's so many players
all those
that were
guys.
chasing.
Yeah. No. The problem is, and I know 12 men always disagree with me on this one, bring Edward back.
Yes, by any means necessary. It's true.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
And tell Klopp.
That song.
Bring him back.
Go,
I
Kwasi.
would
Sorry,
take him, bro. Take him. Yes.
And then take Klopp back to focus on football. To me, Klopp has too much. He has way too much stuff going on. He got way too much. When we were successful, everybody had their job. When somebody started doing way too much, it became a problem.
Yes, sir.
If you have a great system working, it doesn't matter how much money you spend, because we've seen that Brighton is about to make 100 million on one player.
Can't believe it.
That's a system.
That's the scouting. That's the scouting, bro.
Exactly.
Because about the scouting, man.
Exactly, my brother. So if
Liverpool scouts now.
If Liverpool has a great system and everybody's supposed to do their job and they all work together, we wouldn't need to be spending 200 million for Neymar or Mbappe, because guess what? We will get the right players like Mane, Salah, and Bobby to do the job.
Yeah.
That is the problem. We need to stop thinking that spend the money, back club. Club has been spending money. We can't sit there and think that he doesn't. Personally, Nunes, yes, I want Nunes, but he wasn't the right player at the right time.
At the right time, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Gakpo, I love Gakpo, and I'm glad that we have him, but we needed midfielders. So who is making those decisions? It's not Henry. Henry just signed the checks. He already told you, you're going to spend 200 million. That's it. So whoever you're going to buy, that's up to you.
Yeah.
That is the thing that Liverpool needs to go by, because for 5 years, Liverpool was the best run club in the world.
Yeah.
How did
Arsenal sort themselves out? They sorted the backroom stuff out.
They copied Liverpool. They copied Liverpool to a T. Sing our songs, do everything Liverpool.
I know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even play my guy up front like Firmino. What's his name? Come from Chelsea.
Havertz. Kai Havertz.
He's not the greatest striker.
Yeah,
but his brain, his connectivity with the forward line is top notch.
It's just his finishing. He's got to sort out. He's got to sort his finishing out.
Just like Firmino.
Yeah.
Just like Firmino.
I asked the panel question.
Go on, brother. Go on, brother.
So you brought up Kai Havertz, for instance, and Chelsea. A lot of Chelsea supporters are so happy to get what they got for Kai Havertz.
They're going to regret it.
Guy's been running off of the goal from the Champions League fame for as long as he has been. But realistically, though, I mean, you got to look at it. Would you have the same? Would you have the same opinion if we had gone for, considering that we were in the running and were heavily linked to getting Kai Havertz and Thomas Werner, right, from Germany? You know, considering that Chelsea ended up hijacking those deals. We even had Werner basically like signed, sealed, and delivered pretty much.
Yeah.
And Kai Havertz was very much like looking like it was a done deal as well at certain points.
Yeah.
Seeing the direction of, I mean, hindsight's the 2020, but I mean, realistically, would you say we had ambition by getting those players and seeing how they've amounted, or would you have said, "Oh, can we just give a credit that maybe they were smart in the sense of avoiding those players and not going with the market, the elevated market value of the players that were being marketed towards us."
Yeah.
I mean,
Go,
we got
Quasi,
Jota.
go.
We got
Yeah.
Jota. Look at Jota. Yeah,
Instead of Burner, yeah.
Injuries aside. Injuries aside. That's what I'm saying.
Best business, man.
And guess who did that business? My boy Edwards. And this is what I'm saying.
Are you Edwards' agent?
You're in the
It works with him.
Pan around your office. Let me see if there's a picture of.
No. You know
what I mean?
It's that picture of him in
You and him together like that. You know what I mean? Hey,
bro, but the crazy thing is with me, I'm actually a Klopp is my guy.
All of us.
I've been watching him since he came to Dortmund. Because I'm from Ghana. There used to be Ghanaian players play for Dortmund.
Yes,
so when Klopp went there and he started changing the system, I was like, Klopp. He fits perfectly.
Yes, sir.
So when he came in, I was excited. The problem is Klopp ego got a little bit too big, and that changed the system. And,
you know what
I don't
said?
blame him. And this is the reason why, right?
Go, brother.
And this is why I blame FSG. Henry has a tendency of giving you whatever you want when he sees that you are doing well. He did that with Rodgers. He gave him all that money, like 12 men said. He bought all these useless players, and then eventually, now when he wanted money, he said, "No, I don't have any more money." And then he goes to Klopp, started winning, and Klopp and Edwards, we know they're the same people. They were butting heads. Eventually,
but that's good, though, isn't it? Like, if
it's good. It's very good. That's
someone that disagrees with you. Yeah. You can't be always yes. You know what I mean?
And eventually, the owners decided to pick Klopp over Edwards, and that's why Klopp signed a new contract with more leadership and more power.
Do you know what I said? Do you know what I said, Quasi, to Laser earlier? Me and Laser were speaking about Buvac as well. Buvac was his right hand man. Yeah. I think he misses him, man, because Buvac is the one that used to advise him and challenge him. You know,
they need to kiss and make up, them two do.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, sort it out. Kiss and make
get
up
him back.
and get back together.
Get him back. Get them. I'm telling you, because he used to challenge him. He used to challenge him all the time. I don't see Pep Linders doing that. I don't see someone like that doing that. He's always happy, Pep Linders. I don't see him angry. I don't see him like
Pep Linders. He loves his football. I think he loves his football more than Liverpool. So he's like, really, if someone does something great, he's like, shit, that's brilliant. It could be the other team. I think he's one of them guys. He loves the game that much.
Yeah.
No matter who wins, he wants it played the right way. I feel like for him.
But look at this way though. The reason why I talked about Edwards with such high regard is, remember when he took over Komoli? That's when FSG realized that we need to change the system.
It was organized properly.
It was organized. It was properly
Mm.
organized. Edward brought two players by the name of Daniel Sturridge and Coutinho, and it changed everything.
Yes, sir.
The following year, we almost won the league.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
True.
You know,
But
they should have helped Rodgers with some defenders. Yeah, I blame the owners for that too.
Yeah.
But Rodgers has wasted money, so they didn't want to keep giving him money, and he was wasted. And at that time, Rodgers was
King Kenny too. King Kenny,
the same thing with Kenny.
Like, look, you know, that's what. Not to. Sorry, just to.
You were go ahead.
And I'll allow you to finish, but it's the truth.
100 million.
King Kenny, you know, Brendan Rodgers. We act like FSG has not. I get the numbers, the quote unquote net spends aren't exactly to the likings of where we'd like to see them, but King Kenny got a lot of money, especially at the time. Comparatively speaking, he got whoever King Kenny wanted. King Kenny pretty much got. I mean, to say.
How much would you say he spent at that time? Because we bought
over 100.
We bought Downing, we bought Henderson, we bought
Downing, Henderson. Cole, did we pay? Was that Hodgson?
That was
Cole or was that Kenny?
No, it was Kenny. It was Kenny.
Andy Carroll was the biggest.
Charlie Adams,
was Andy Carroll in my mind.
Yeah, Charlie Adams.
the Brazilian goalkeeper. Yeah.
And
Sorry.
Kenny,
Yeah, from Roma, innit?
Yeah.
Kenny
Go,
signed
Top
off
man. Sorry, Top man. Go ahead, bro.
No, that's all I really wanted to get across.
Laser, do you want to say anything?
They have gotten the money. It's just that King Kenny and especially Brendan Rodgers had different philosophies when it came to player transfers and acquisitions. And with Klopp, again, just as Quasi was saying, is that he's about getting the right person that he understands. I mean, he's obviously getting some he's getting Pep and the other guys that are on his team telling him, giving suggestions and ideas as well. But for the most part, Klopp is going to bring in players that fit his system. And on top of that, look, FSG is very well known as being that money ball model of a club that utilizes analytics. And when it comes to a lot of the things, like the director of research, who often his name's a new guy now, but Ian Graham and those guys, when those guys are brought in, they're brought in for a reason. It's because they break down a lot of the things that the football eye doesn't necessarily correlate as being a necessary, metric. And those things are things that we might say, oh, well, that's weird, or that, oh, I've seen him play, or I've seen this or that, blah, blah, blah. But yet for some reason, somehow that algorithm that they're utilizing and the numbers that they're crunching to get to the players that they do tend to bring out some really quality players, especially players that none of us really had our eyes on until they got in the door and started performing under the system. And all of a sudden now we're like, oh, it's just a given,
It's all about fitting the system, 100% right.
Yeah, Fauzi, and this is also the part where I see LFC fans don't appreciate. See, a lot of them are frustrated because they didn't enjoy the journey that we was. Now they were like, oh my God, it's too late. We had a system that worked so much that it changed people who spend money willing and willing to adapt to our system.
Yes, sir.
City is a juggernaut with a lot of money. PSG, bottomless pit. Madrid, Barcelona, all these established teams. And we came in and said, no, we're going to do it different. To the point where Barca is copying Liverpool. The AC Milan, that's how they won their league. What's the other one? PSG. Now look at PSG. They were like, screw this million.
I understand with AC Milan, we're a partnership now, isn't it? Redbird, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. So yes, the owners, could they spend more money? Of course. I want to see what Klopp would do with a lot of money. But he chose not to go to Madrid. He chose not to go to Man U and say, I'm going to Liverpool.
You're spot on, bro.
So yes, and Klopp is also a frustrating guy, but he's a genius. That's what makes them genius, right? A genius stick to his plan regardless. The problem was he and Edwards were the same people and they didn't get along and then it didn't work. So for FSG to bring somebody lesser than Edwards, for FSG to bring somebody lesser than Edwards or somebody like you guys were saying could tell Klopp, you messing up. Yeah. That's the problem. That is the problem. Because Klopp is a great manager. If you get him the right player, he will make him great. The problem is he's doing too much.
100%.
He's doing
let him concentrate on football. You're right.
Concentrate on football, and because when he was in Dortmund,
when he was in Dortmund, he's doing a lot.
When he was in Dortmund, that's what he was doing.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, him and Buvac. They're doing everything.
They just focus on football.
That's it. Laser, you answer this one. He says, "Big up. How did you rate the squad tonight?" Go on, Laser. You watched the game, didn't you? Did you
I did. I watched the game, and it reminded me of the old Liverpool team, the early club days, heavy metal football, up and down like a basketball game. Out of 10, I'll give it a rating of probably 7. For me, the tackle was all right. The tackle was there. You can see the little patterns of play, in and side around the penalty area. But I think it's more the defensive side, man. It still leaves a lot to be desired to me. I feel like the opposition's turnovers and counters were too easy to put through. If you're looking at Chelsea, they're going to be much more of a better side than the team we played tonight. There's going to be loads of teams we face in the opening Premier League games. That's going to give us a tough time. And I feel like defensively, we need to be much more better, man. Because for me, looking at it, I know it's a pre-season, it's still early. It still takes a couple of Premier League games to go up to speed. And I'm a little bit concerned in the defensive side of the game, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The Liverpool, we are good. Trust me.
We are.
We are good. I told people the match that's gonna make my decision is the Bayern match.
Mm-hmm.
and we split by left and right. So I think we're good.
Yeah. Guys, that's us done for today. Oh, damn. I loved it. I loved it. I wish we could go on for a while. You know what I mean? But, Kwasi, where can people find you, brother?
KwasiBOLD TV. Tomorrow I'll be on. We have LFC Vibes at 8 p.m. on the, people on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
So please come check us out. Thank you so much for having me and the two
Oh, you're
brothers
always
that
welcome,
I've just
brother.
met. Salute you guys, man. You guys are
Yes.
true LFC
Anton and
fans.
Laser, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
True
I just like to say something before you go, Kwasi.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable, you and the 12th man. You know, I've
Thank
been
you.
off this
Oh yeah, bro.
YouTube game for a while, so I felt a bit rusty tonight. I don't know what you know about me. I used to do a lot of content with Kwasi
Yes.
before.
Yes,
I used to
sir.
do my own little streams. And it's been a while, man. So it was jumping back into the deep end. Felt a bit
Yeah.
strange coming on tonight. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed it, man. You know, a lot of the
Thank you.
points you said. You know, I might not have agreed with a few little
No,
bits here
we're
and
not
there, but
supposed to.
You're
Yeah.
not
you
supposed
spoke
to.
a lot of sense. You spoke a lot of
Yeah.
sense, man.
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed
Yeah,
it,
you
and
did.
I
Thank you. I
would like to
appreciate
check
you.
out.
And
Your
12th
content.
man,
Come
I
through,
agree. I
man.
agree.
Come,
Yeah.
come. Thank you. Come check me out. Join the channel.
I will.
Join the
I
panel.
will.
Join the panel. Thank you.
Where can people
Yeah.
find you, Laser? Tell them, bro.
Whoa!
Tell them.
I've noticed you've put LAZERLFC. My YouTube channel has been under construction for the last 2 bloody years. When you go there, you're going to be like, this geezer ain't active. You know, it's mostly Instagram. You can check me out on Instagram, Laser_LFC. You know, and I'll be slowly easing my way back into the YouTube and then social and
Welcome
Liverpool
back, man.
scene. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I've missed it, to be fair. I've missed it,
Yeah,
man.
we missed you,
No.
mate. Don't worry about that, man.
Laser.
Well, man, take it away, brother.
Big up, big up. Thank you. Big up to the panel. Great panel today.
Oh, we enjoyed it.
All well informed, just as Laser stated earlier. Very, very. All with different opinions, different takes. I appreciate when that happens, and in a discussion that's not, is a civil discussion, and that's something that's important
Spot
to
on,
have
brother.
in a lot of these forums. You don't see that. I also want to say big up to all the chat members, especially all the Reds. They get a little bit extra love, but all the same, even if you're not a Red, big up to the chat. I see a lot of the great names out there. Jay Kismet, I saw Redbird earlier. I saw Uncle Rods. I saw the
brothers,
chat.
yeah.
Big up to Daz Reynolds. Keep It Level. I saw Abdul Rahim. I saw in there. All people that show love. Insman TV, all show love, and
Yes, sir.
it's about supporting, our club, not our club, but each other. A lot of times these content creators like myself are putting a lot of time and effort into a lot of these things.
Spot on.
We're getting definitely kind of hated on sometimes by our loved ones because we tend to share a little bit more of our time with you in the on the internet here, but all the same. It's all love. It's all because we all truly bleed red. True and true. We all want the same success.
Oh gosh.
Big up to the chat again. Big up to the panel, and thank you for having me on. You can check me out here at Liverpool 12th Man. Is how you find me on YouTube at Liverpool 12th Man.
No problem, brother. Anton, take it away, bro.
Hey guys. Yeah, you'll find me, like I said, you find me in the bin somewhere. I don't know. Right. It's Anton01 on Instagram. And that's about I got YouTube, but I forgot the YouTube name. I think it's on here somewhere. Fozzie can find it. I'm old school.
I'll find it for him. But it's part of this channel, though. You're part of this channel, anyway.
Yeah, of course. And big up to the panel today, 100%.
Wicked, mate.
I love it. I love the indifferences, man. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Man, very knowledgeable panel. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was only me, but
Can I,
you guys are killing it, man.
Can I echo what the 12th man said? He said something. He said, and I noticed that, and I don't want to call out any channels' names, but this discussion what we've had tonight has been very civil and mature.
That's also
Yes,
There's
sir.
no bickering and what he's saying, and like interruptions. From time to time, people might chime in and overspeak, the other person. It happens. Everybody wants to get their point across. Well, it's been a very civil, mature discussion, and I really enjoyed that tonight. Because my
Big up,
intention was
Laser.
only to stay here 20 minutes.
I
And
know.
it's been an hour and a half. You know what I mean? My eyes are turning to get my sleep.
I know.
It's great, man. It's like the old days, man. You know,
Big up,
You
bro.
was entertained. Are you not entertained?
I am 100% entertained.
Oh, guys, 1 minute, yeah, 1 minute, yeah, 1 minute, yeah. Big up, chat. Honestly, thanks for helping us out on the chat, and big up to all the obviously the guys on the channel today. It's been fantastic. You know, we're trying to bring this like back on a regular basis again, and I'm glad some old faces are back as well as new faces as well. You're gonna see a lot of these guys on this channel. Please go and subscribe to their channels as well, and they're brilliant. They're brilliant at their content. At the end of the day, we're all community here. We're all gonna stick together no matter what. And there's no rivalries here, in my opinion. We're all like as one. So please go and subscribe to everyone. I will leave the links on this channel, on this stream down below. So please go and do that for us as well. Thanks for everyone, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.